Hi there, my name is Jackie Tsuma, founder of Real Estate Empire, and I help African professionals living abroad in the diaspora find, buy, and monetize their properties so that they can finally have them paying back for themselves and hit five and six figure rental returns within their first 2 years of operation. So today I want to talk about what will happen when you hit rock bottom. That's a question that I've been asking myself a lot, a couple of weeks ago. Two things happened that triggered this, by the way. First, I learned of the passing of an acquaintance, someone that I had met briefly once. And we were Facebook friends, right? And I also learned of, secondly, a dear friend that hit rock bottom. Now, one of these things is pretty final as far as rock bottom goes, really. There's no returning from the great beyond. But the other is not, thankfully. What I found myself wondering was, could either have been prevented? Like, could there have been any single way that they would have not happened? And I kept asking myself that one question. If this time last year, someone had told the person that had passed that in 1 year's time, they would have a stroke and they would die, would they have lived differently? Would they have enjoyed life more, yet maybe reined in the elements of that enjoyment that really shortened their lifespan? Would they have just really, jumped out of bed at 6 in the morning to go for that run, knowing that each mile that they run would extend their life by an extra day? Would they have put down that donut just because, life is more important than a donut if you put it in perspective? Would they have gone for more checkups, maybe listen to their doctor more? Because we all know we kind of have selective listening when it comes to our doctors, right? Like, would they have lived with the intention to grow old and be able to kiss the cheeks of their grandkids while still on this earth? I'd like to think so, because if I was faced with that decision, yes, I would. Because it actually motivated me to jump out of bed at 6 a.m. this morning to exercise and to daydream of kissing my grandkids on their cheeks and to actually take the time to enjoy life and time with my family more, taking that one day at a time and being present in the moment. Because you know what, we're all on a clock, but we have the grace to be alive right now. Right now is what we need to make the most of today, this second. Because if we don't, we either hit a rock bottom with finality, right? Or we hit an interim rock bottom. But to be honest, it may just feel like death in the way that its bite is so harsh. And I'm talking about the rock bottom where you lose your will to do it anymore. Where everything you've ever worked for just comes crumbling down and you're left with the ashes of your life surrounding you. You're left wondering, okay, how did it come to this? Just wondering where you went wrong. And the truth is, you can probably pinpoint exactly where it went wrong. That time when, you chose to turn over on your bed rather than to actually get up and go out there and hustle. Like your life depended on it, literally, right? Or that time when maybe you had a deadline and, you decided, you're going to ignore it because you were at a party last night and party, right? Or because what you're working on, right now was not as perfect as you needed it to be. So you're like, I just need one more second to just get that dot right, cross my T's and dot my I's. And so you maybe got passed up for that job or that promotion or that opportunity because of one little slip. Or maybe that time when you actually ignored the most important thing and you focused more on the mundane because it was easy, it was mindless, it was fun for a fleeting moment. And now you're actually reaping what you have sown. And by the way, it's as steady as predictable as death and taxes. When it's time to account for your sins of omission or of commission. And that time actually will be your jury and your actions will be your judge. By the way, and try as you might, you cannot pass the buck on this one. You know it deep in your heart that this didn't sneak up on you. This was years in the making, right? It's like that time, the time I got a second class honors, right? Lower division in my university degree, when I really, really should have got a first class honors because I could. I knew I'd sold myself out. I'd fallen short of my capability. I knew that if I'd worked harder, I would have waltzed into Yale or Harvard for my postgrad, with a fully paid up scholarship. I literally knew it, I knew that I had no one to blame but myself. And that's actually the worst kind of regret. You know what I mean? But thankfully, it wasn't rock bottom. I rebounded, from it easy enough. I just broke my back literally for the next 10 years, or not literally, right? Figuratively, for the next 10 plus years, just to prove that I was worth my mettle. That it was even to prove it more to me as much as to everyone else around me, right? And I put the work in. See, the power of rock bottom that I've discovered is that once you hit it, there's really nowhere else to go but up. That's if you hit the one, the rock bottom of the non-permanent variety, not the one known as being 6 feet under. Okay, so since you're reading this, you still have time. You have time to prepare yourself to not hit rock bottom. You have time to work till you drop, to move ahead so fast that you leave others around you out of breath because they just see you whiz by and they're like, oh, how do I catch up? Actually have time to fill your mind with only thoughts of the hope of where you're going while you're being grateful for where you are right now. And you have time just to be leaving behind the regret of where you could have been.